Hey, this is Linz, and you are watching Support the Scene.
Hey, this is Jade from Support the Scene. I'm here with a couple amazing musicians. Please introduce yourselves to those who might not know you.
Hi, my name's Scott Hastings, he, him, and I'm the singer for Brehdren.
Ian Malinsky, him, and I play guitar and sing for Brehdren.
Now, I've seen you on stage, and it just blew me away. I fell in love instantly. At the album release, it made me go immediately to your Spotify and wait, and then the album came out and just binged it and have really enjoyed it. Do you want to tell the people who haven't heard you a little bit about your sound and history?
Well, we started 2010, I think it was, and in a basement in Vancouver, and a bunch of people got together, started making music, and we knew we wanted to originally do something in the reggae ska realm. I was in a band 20 plus years ago now, called the Malchicks, and we brought some of the original myself and Lawrence from that band, and we sort of reenacted that, and ska is where we're at now.
Yeah, it's always interesting having groups where you have musicians that you kind of jazz with, that you really want to kind of move forward with different projects, and then you find other musicians who fit the mold, and you move forward. And Ian, how did you join?
So actually, Scott, myself, and Daryl, the bassist, were kind of our first started the band way back in 2010. We had another member who's since moved on, but it was interesting when I joined the band. I had no idea how to play ska guitar.
Yeah,
I come from more of an indie rock background, but it's been, I think, what kind of really solidified this band was, strangely enough, our name, which is a very weird and confusing name, but kind of comes from the patois version of Brehdren, kind of family. And I think we've kind of really tried to keep that through our band. So we have a big band, up to 10 members at certain times, but we can shrink down and be different types of things and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I've been through there from the beginning, and I think that we're just kind of starting. I think that, the band that we have right now is probably the most talented and tightest band we've ever had. So 12 years going, I think we're just starting. So
it really showed it on stage, the chemistry that everyone had, and the ability to, I always find when bands reach a point where they have the ability to perform without thinking about what they're playing, and it just adds to such a better show.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been doing a lot of, it's funny because I've never been in a band this long. I've played music for most of my life, since my teen years, but it's weird being in a band this long, and you actually look back at the history of some of the the strongest bands, the longest serving bands, the biggest bands usually take sometimes a decade to really find out who they really are.
Oh, absolutely.
What's their sound. And I was reading an article recently just about how, most bands, that first 10 years, you're really just trying to sound like your influences. So I'm taking some influences, but I think that once you really kind of understand what you are as a band, I think you can start to realize the strengths of the different members. And us having 10 people, you can really, there's so many different things you can do and so many different people to lean on. It's pretty cool to be in a band where you can just kind of sit back and do your small part and create this big sound. So yeah, we love it.
Yeah, and speaking of which, as you were saying, it's really true. Bands, especially back in the day, used to go on tour and just tour the circuit and get real tight, playing covers, and really before even becoming their own unique sound and songs and things like that. And then after years, they were so tight that their songs, just kind of organically grew.
Yeah, and I also noticed, if you look at a lot of those bands, they may have done 2, 3, 4 EPs before they even put out an official kind of album. And I feel really our kind of recording experiences have been very much us growing as a band. And I think that like this recording, that King Quincy's Dinner Party, is definitely our most mature songwriting. And I think that just the musicianship on the album is the best that I think that we've ever done. So Scott, I don't know what you think on that.
I definitely, yeah. Tell me a little bit more. Like, how long did it take?
The album?
Yeah. Was it like a 1 weekend to record? Was it a year?
Oh yeah, that's
5 years.
No. We tried as soon as the lockdown started lightening up. Ian was just going for gusto. There's no stopping Ian now. But it was like, okay, we can get small groups together. We can get into the studio. We can start recording again. And we got in there. I don't know, two or three weekends.
Yeah, it took. I mean, it was over a number of months. So I think we started back in February of 2022, earlier this year, and then kind of finished up around June. So a bunch of different sessions at that Rain City Recorders in Vancouver. I was actually just there last weekend recording with Matthew Presidente, who I know you know very well.
Yes.
And so we got 2 new songs with him too. So, but yeah, we love it there. It's great working with Matt Roach. But what's interesting about this album is that these songs actually are like some songs 7 years old. So even some of the bands we play with, this band called Brasser, who you probably know, who are at the show, former Brass Action, like some of those guys were surprised some of those songs hadn't been recorded because they were so old.
Like they knew them. They were like, I thought that was recorded because I know that song.
Yeah.
They'd heard it so many times. But it's interesting, like the song to be that old, but performed with this band and with these musicians, it's so much more full than when we originally wrote that song. Like it's so much more so. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, one of my favorite tracks, and I think one of my favorite things I saw when seeing on stage, was Bear Attack. Can I get a little insight on how that came together?
Well, the song, strange, and like most of so there's a little kind of, I'll tell you a little kind of how we put our songs together. It's a good example. So usually music kind of is the impetus, the starting point, and I usually kind of write a lot of the stuff on acoustic guitar, and sometimes I'll come up with a riff and just sing whatever comes to my head. I used to be a singer, did solo stuff for a long time, and usually I kind of, whatever that inkling of that idea comes out, I'll give that to Scott, and he makes it so much more. So literally that, like the song started with that and then it went, fuck you, it's a bear attack. That's what I said the first time I played that riff. I don't know why that came into my head. And then I just passed it over to Scott, and then Scott made a whole story out of it. And this is kind of what we've done for most of our songs, including King Quincy or whatever, right? Just an idea that pops in my head of these sorts of things, prompted. And then Scott puts it together. So yeah,
you give me, it's a rule with like creativity. If you put a creative person in a box, you give them a problem, they'll try and solve the problem. And if you don't give them a problem, then they sit there and stare at the blank wall. In some cases, so I encourage Ian to give me prompts like, hey, anything you got. I don't always use it, but most of the time, I'm like, oh, if I don't have an idea, my own prompt, then I love it when Ian feeds me something like that, because it's just like something you can riff on and improvise with, and then solidify it in the long run. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Now, you have some upcoming shows. Expand on that. Where, when, who, but where?
Scott, you want to take that one?
Oh no! Check this out. Oh, I can't. If I could share my screen, then I could show you some things.
Absolutely.
But we have.
While Scotty shares the screen, why don't you look up the posters there, Scotty? So while Scotty's
no, I've got the posters here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's got it.
How do I do that?
I don't know.
While you guys are figuring that out, we have a show on November 12th at Roberts Creek on the Sunshine Coast. And then we have a show December 3rd in the Squamish. And then our next Vancouver show is Xmas in Scawville on December 10th. So that's our big next Vancouver show. And that show has been, how many years has it been going now, Scott?
Don't do this to me.
A lot of
18, years. I think. This is 18.
Yeah. A lot of years. It run by Bobby
it's
Joe
on the poster.
now.
I can show you in a second.
Okay. Yeah, well, send
yeah, there we go.
and there we go.
So That's not the thing I wanted to show you.
What's
Okay,
the
so we got
saxophone?
that. I've been working on that. Yeah, I've been working on that. The this is still in the works, but December. Is that the right date?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the right
December.
date for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going up to Squamish, December 3rd is the idea, and this is in works. This is work in progress.
What an amazing lineup, though.
Yeah, right. Having Balkan Schmalkin. It's like how many. I wanted
Yeah.
to show this on the poster. It was like, look how many musicians are going to be there. It's going to be amazing.
How full
Rock-
is that parking lot going to be of just musicians'
Just
cars?
band
Just
members,
members. Well, it's funny you
we
didn't
got-
mention that. Yeah, this show here, the November 12th one, Balkan Schmalkin was originally going to go with us, but we couldn't find any place to stay because we were talking to Don, who kind of runs that the Legion there, and we told him we have 20 people coming. Is that too many? And so that's why we've kind of come to. We have a nice local band, Monty Montego, and the Rocksteady Crew are going to be opening up. But for that show
which
in
are
November,
another pre-Jamaican, pre-reggae Jamaican music band. Which I love the way they advertise that. Is that they do rock steady and we do ska, and I love it because we got two bands that do pre-reggae anyways, it's a neat way of phrasing it. And then we got the Skaville show. I didn't make this poster. This is a poster from Steve Kitchen for the new Skaville. This is a sneak peek, actually. Maybe I shouldn't be showing this, but I'm pretty stoked about this. Yeah, it's pretty
That is amazing. I will be there with bells on because that just seems like an amazing good time.
yeah, that'll be fun.
Now, one thing is, where can people find you? Social media links?
Yeah, I think we're most active on Instagram, but also on Facebook. We have some music videos on YouTube, and then our website at brehdren.com. We just redid that, Scott and I, and we got some blogs and stuff like up on there. And we're going to be expanding the King Quincy world. So anybody who wants to know more about King Quincy, there are. I've already written about 3,500 words of a kind of a book. So this is going to be a bigger thing over the years that we're working on.
Love it. Love it. Well, thanks so much for joining and having a good chat. We hope everyone hits that subscribe button, hits the bell, and checks out all the links that will be posted down below, and goes and checks out the amazing shows.
support the
Thanks
scene.
so much, Jade.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. This is Support the Scene. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, follow, and share.